Good day, all of us. Buju on the line, a friendly reminder from Beat Magazine. Today, I want to remind us of the fact that there's a need for us to be strong. There's a need for us to be positive in our goals, dreams, and vision. What do I mean? Life has its own fair share of challenges, its fair share of everything. But for us to be successful, we have to be positive at all times. So I want to remind you to be positive and see what you are working towards. See the success of the project you're working on. See the greatness of the things you are doing. See the end from the beginning. Now, what do I mean? I had a little experience in 2016, which I'm going to share with us. Now, I bought this bicycle, I felt so good since I like cycling. But whenever I ride with a couple of people around, they always tell me, I went to Aba. Actually, I stay in Port Harcourt, on NTA Road in Port Harcourt. And Port Harcourt to Aba, it's maybe about 100 or maybe 80 kilometers or thereabouts. By public transport, it's about 45 minutes or so. Now, most of these young boys, these small children, 16, 17, 18 years old guys will tell me, I went to Aba, I've gone to Aba. We used to do it a lot of times. And I'll be like, okay, one day I'll go to Aba. But below me, I was like, if I go to Aba and come back, what makes me different from these kids? Because I'm times 2 their age. So why will I feel like I've done something extraordinary if I go to Aba and come back? So within me, I was like, okay, the day I'll go to Aba, if I have a lot of strength, I'll get to Umuahia. About to Umuahia by public transport is about 2 hours. I think that's about 250 kilometers. So I said, I'll get to Umuahia and I'll come back. I said, okay. So I started practicing. Most Saturdays, I ride around Port Harcourt. I ride around. Sometimes I leave my house in the morning by 6 o'clock. I come back 3, 4, 2, 1, 5 p.m. Now, I was training myself for the day I would go to Aba. Because one question I always ask them, those who go to Aba, I say, when you go to Aba, how long does it take you to go and come? I said, before 9 o'clock, 10, we're back now. So I was like, okay, that's good. That means I told myself if I practice beyond 10 o'clock, I can go to Aba and come back. Now, since I had in mind that the day I would go to Aba, if I have a lot of strength, I'll get 2 more here. I said, okay. I started training. Now I trained and trained and trained. So on the day I was to go to the so-called Aba, when I rode my bicycle in the morning at about 5:30, before I rode for 30 minutes, I had one severe waist pain that struck me like a thunder. And that thunder struck, immediately I rode into Aba Road. It struck me. My waist was like they just tied a belt on it and say, you're not going anywhere today. I told myself that this is fear manifesting. But you see this Aba, I will go to Aba and I will come back alone. So I took off. I left my house by 5:30. I got to Aba at about 7:30, 7:30, 7:45. So when I got to Aba, I still had so much energy. And I was like, are you going to ride back to Port Harcourt and feel like a champion? No. I said, oh my, here I go. Oh my, here I come. So I took off. I rode to Umuahia. I got to Umuahia by 11:30. Now, the town Umuahia is hilly. So a lot of the roads are hilly, very hilly. Now, the more I was approaching Umuahia, the more I became tired. I was like, I needed to stop. But I said, no, let me get to Umuahia first. So I struggled that thing till I got to Umuahia. And when I got to Umuahia, I rested for a while. Luckily, the spot I stopped was a park, the roundabout, the center of town or thereabouts. When I stopped there, I was now contemplating. I said, oh boy, who sent you this thing? My friend, carry your bike, put on top one public transport, one bus, and enter that bus and come back to Port Harcourt before you go and faint on the way and die. But I told myself, I said, who sent you this thing? So if tomorrow now you want to talk to people and you say, would you be proud to tell them, I wanted to go to Aba, then I got to Umuahia and I rode a public transport back. I said, no, I can't do that. That's BS. So, after resting for 30 minutes, I set out again, back to Port Harcourt. So I left Umuahia by 12 o'clock. Now, I got to Port Harcourt by 6:30. And I finally got to my house by, I think, 7:45. Now, I did it so alone. There was nobody with me. Sometimes, even when I tell bikers that go for competitions, I did it alone, they look at me and like, you have mind, though. How come you could do this alone? Because this is something that normally they do in groups. Now, but one thing happened. There was something that always happened while I was riding that day. Now, when I pedal, I fire so much speed. After a while, 5-10 minutes, I become tired. When I become tired, I slow down. Sometimes I don't pedal so much. And sometimes I think like, your strength don't finish. Your strength is gone. But somehow, strength comes from somewhere that I don't know. And I continued riding. In fact, on my way back, when I got to Aba, it was raining heavily. And based on my experience as a cycler, I like riding when it's raining. Because when it's raining, the rain cools your heat and gives you some kind of energy. So it was raining seriously. But inside that rain, I was pedaling. But there was something I also experienced that day. What I experienced was that in the whole of my 2 or 3 years of riding my bicycle, that day was the best for me because at a point, the bike became so free. As before I pedal 30%, I get 60% results. Now it became easier. At a point, that became some kind of fun for me. Because that time that I was going to Aba, this was 2016, I think they were constructing the other side of the road. So in some areas, the whole lane was free just for me. Public transports were using the other lane. So, where you think that your mind will break, where you think you will fail, is not where you will fail. Why? Because when you see the end from the beginning, then you are inspired, then you are motivated, then you are energized to move towards your vision. Because your vision is who you are. Celine Dion said, I'll stand for my dream as a symbol of my faith in who I am. So when you stand for what you believe in, when you stand for that goal, when you stand for that project, when you stand for that vision, when you stand for what you want to do, you are energized. You are energized beyond your widest imagination. Because sometimes you say that one with God is majority. Why? Because why? When you stand with the God energy within you, you can do all things. Because all things are possible to those who believe. If you believe in it, then you will walk towards it. When you walk towards it, you will achieve what you've set your mind on. Because your success is sure. Your success is inevitable. Nobody can stop you from succeeding except you. Forget about whatever thing you may have read in a book, they may have told you, or you may have seen in life. The truth is, nobody can stop your success except you. And the fastest way to stop your success is to believe that you cannot achieve it. So no matter how small that project is, even if it is that lecturer in your school who is giving you tough time, create an imagination of success with him. If it's your boss who is being difficult, find a way around it. Be positive. See the end from the beginning. Visualize yourself. Imagine the both of you sitting down and laughing as friends. Then find a way. Do your research. Go online. Read about people like him. People's personalities and character traits and all that. You'll be able to overcome the challenge, the barrier that is preventing the growth. So my point is, believe in your dream. Work towards your dream and you will achieve it. That's the truth about life. Because the greatest truth about life is that life manifests itself one step at a time. That's why we see everything we see is a product of success, other people's success. We had analog phones. Today we have Android, we have iPhone, we have a lot of things. It's the product of a process. So your success is for sure. The project you're working on is for sure. Nothing can stop you. But believe and be successful. Be positive. Know that where you are going is greater than where you are coming from. I believe in you. Okay? So let's do it together. Cheers. Thanks for listening.